Hey y'all, how is everyone? I just want to share this little writing from my journal. This morning I woke up and read a little bit from, I'm reading 1 Corinthians, because I don't know, Paul's been speaking to me lately. Like, his life has just been resonating with mine in a lot of ways, and so I've just been diving into that. But anyways, I want to read this to you guys, so let's have a listen. God told you that you were enough. He told you that you were doing just fine, but you refused to listen. And so you go out and try and fill that void with everything that would only bring you down instead of bring you right into your glory. The glory that God has already revealed in you. Why do we do that? Why do we refuse to believe and trust His word? Why do we refuse the truth that's told? You know that you are enough. You know that you are valuable and that there is a call on your life. And so stop letting everyone and everything convince you otherwise. You know who you are and you know what it is. So your weakness can be used as a strength. It just depends on how you look at it and how you go about things. So you know what it is. You know what's been called on your life. I want to talk about this just very impromptu in the moment. It's something that's been heavy on my mind and in my heart. And you guys tell me if you can relate, but do you ever go through phases in your life where you know who you are, but for some reason you keep convincing yourself that that's not who you are, and so you end up in spaces where you're like, how did I even get here? How did I even land so far off from who I am? Recently, I've just been feeling that in a lot of ways. I've just been in a lot of spaces where I'm like, oh, this is not me. Oh, everyone else can see it and everyone else can notice that, like, I don't really fit in, but for some reason, I'm just curious about these spaces. I'm curious about, the things that people do for fun and enjoyment. And so I find myself in spaces and I'm like, I gotta go. Recently, I went to an event with some friends and it was a really good time. I had lots of fun. They were great people. But throughout the event, I just kept feeling in my spirit like, Abby, this is not you. Like, this is not for you. Do you ever feel that where it's like in your spirit is saying, you gotta go. You gotta go. And so I was feeling that, and I didn't answer. I didn't listen to this feeling that I had. I just kind of stayed there and was like, ooh, why do I feel like this? And I think that just relates to, the call on our life and the things that God has for us, right? Obviously, we are human beings and we can't know it all, but there are certain moments where your spirit kind of guides you, kind of like your intuition. You can't always rely on your intuition and that, like, spiritual guidance, but sometimes you know when it's real and you know when it's like, oh, okay, I can't ignore this, right? And so I just think that's related to the call that God has on your life, right? I know for me, for many, many years, I think I was running away from my my niceness, my kindness, my compassion, These are characteristics that are just naturally in me, but because they have been taken advantage by so many people and just like, I kind of got the short end of the stick a lot of the times. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to be that girl anymore. I'm not going to be nice anymore. I'm not going to be compassionate. I'm going to have a cynical but also just a more hyper aware view of life. And with that comes a sort of, you kind of take away from a gift that you have, right? Like I don't want to say it's my gift, but like something that's really great about me and something that's really horrible about me is that I'm very compassionate. And I think about Paul in the Bible where he talks about his pride and how because of his pride he had a thorn, which would be like a spirit that would, you know, his thorn was a spirit that would always bring him down in a sort of way so that he would not get conceited. And so I think of Paul in that way, and I think of our strengths and our weaknesses being our strengths, right? So sometimes we have something that is valuable, or we have something that is a weakness, right? I know for a lot of people in this, you know, in today's day, a lot of people struggle with anxiety. A lot of people struggle with depression or whatever mental health struggles that you have. And when I think of Paul, I think of you beautiful people that are struggling with anxiety or mental health or depression. And I wonder if we looked at anxiety, if we looked at depression, if we looked at all these thorns as a thorn that could help and pour into our strength. Or sometimes our curses can be our blessing. Sometimes our curses are what can lead us into our blessing if we have that perseverance, if we have that perspective shift. And so for anyone that's kind of like struggling through anything in life right now, kind of think about Paul and think about the thorn that he had on his side and how he took something that was negative but looked at it from a different perspective and said, aha, I have this thorn in me to keep me from being conceited, right? And so I think a lot of us can really benefit from that perspective shift. There are positive and beautiful things about you, and there are negative things about you, but those negative things can be used for the greater good, right? And the same thing with those negative things. Kind of take them and squeeze the best out of them, right? I know it sounds like super butterfly and rainbow, like everything's gonna be okay, positive vibes, positivity, energy, but I don't know why I did that. But like honestly and truthfully, whatever weakness you have can be there for a reason and could be leading you into your greatest strength, right? And so start to look at your weaknesses as your thorns. What are they preventing you from? What are they teaching you? What are they leading you to, right? Look at your weaknesses and say, oh, okay, why did I have to go through that? Why was I given this quality, right? And how can I use it for something good? How is it benefiting me, right? And everybody's story is different. I know we like to compare, right? Everybody's story is different. Everybody is put here for a reason to do a different thing. I know it sounds super spiritual, but I'm telling you, we're all here for a reason and we're all here for a purpose, but our purposes are different. And so you can't compare your strengths or your weaknesses to anybody else. You are unique. And the gifts that you have are unique, and the weaknesses that you have are unique, because the story that is going to be told with your life is also unique. And so don't get discouraged. Have faith and know that your weaknesses can be used as strengths. And I believe in you because I see it in myself as well. And if I can see it in myself, then I know that it's within you as well, because, you know, we're all human beings just living the same experience, not the same lives, but we have similar experiences. So anyways, that was just my thought, very much so rambling, but tell me what you guys think. Am I crazy? Like maybe I need to get out of my head. I don't know how to do that. See, that's one of my thorns too, right? I am a thinker. And it's a bad thing sometimes because it leads me down a path of overthinking and fixating on things. But it also leads me to so much freedom, and it also leads me to encouraging people that, you know, maybe aren't so introspective and don't really think about things that they should be thinking about sometimes. So your weakness can be used as a strength. It just depends on how you look at it and how you go about things. So that's all I have to say for today, but thank you guys for being here. Comment down below your thoughts and ideas, and we will catch up soon. Also, guys, look at my cute mug, my little coffee mug. It says meow and you. So cute. Okay, anyways, goodbye. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee and get my day started. Bye.